You're lying awake at 3 a.m., plugging numbers into a retirement calculator, watching your projected retire at age jump wildly from 58 to 67 every single time you tweak just one assumption. Retire at 55 and live your best life? Or work until 70 and actually have enough money to survive? The internet is full of people who retired early and traveled the world, and also full of people who retired early and ran out of money at 73. Spoiler alert, the difference between those two outcomes isn't luck, it's math. And that math is about to seriously surprise you. Let's start with the math that financial advisors love to throw at you. The standard rule is called the 4% rule. You save enough money that you can withdraw 4% of your portfolio each year without running out before you die. Simple enough. But here's where it gets brutal. Retiring at 55 means you need your money to last potentially 35 to 40 years. Retiring at 70 means maybe 20 years. That difference completely changes how much you need saved before you can quit. Let's put real numbers on this. Say you want to spend $60,000 per year in retirement. Using the 4% rule, you need a portfolio of $1.5 million. That's the baseline. But if you're retiring at 55, most financial planners will tell you to use a 3.5% withdrawal rate because your money needs to survive longer. Now you need $1.7 million. Retire at 70 with a shorter runway, and you might safely use 4.5%, meaning you only need $1.33 million. Let me say that again. The difference between retiring at 55 and retiring at 70 is roughly $400,000 in required savings. That's not a rounding error. That's a decade of aggressive investing for most people. But wait, we haven't even talked about the healthcare catastrophe yet. If you retire at 55, you've got 10 full years before Medicare kicks in at 65. 10 years of buying health insurance on the open market. Depending on your state and health status, you're looking at $12,000 to $24,000 per year. That's potentially $240,000 just in healthcare costs before you qualify for the program everyone else gets automatically. Congratulations, you just unlocked a new expense category called being too young for government healthcare. Here's what that actually looks like for a real person. Let's call them Jordan. Jordan is 45, earns $100,000 per year, saves 20% of their income, and currently has $400,000 invested. Jordan wants to know which retirement age makes the most sense. Scenario A, Jordan retires at 55. At their current savings rate plus market growth, Jordan hits roughly $1.2 million by age 55. Sounds decent until you factor in healthcare costs averaging $18,000 per year for 10 years, plus the longer withdrawal period. Jordan's portfolio needs to survive 35 plus years while bleeding money for insurance the entire first decade. The math gets tight, really tight. Scenario B, Jordan retires at 65. Same person, same savings rate, but 10 more years of contributions and compound growth. Jordan now has roughly $2.4 million. Medicare kicks in immediately. Social Security starts at full retirement age. The numbers actually work with room to spare. Scenario C, Jordan retires at 70. 5 more years of savings pushes the portfolio to approximately $3.2 million. Social Security benefits are now 24% higher than at 67 due to delayed credits. Jordan has the biggest pile of money and the largest monthly Social Security check. On paper, this is the winner, but here's where the spreadsheet lies to you. Jordan retiring at 55 gets roughly 30 years of retirement. Jordan retiring at 65 gets roughly 20 years. Jordan retiring at 70 gets roughly 15 years if they're lucky. Scenario C has the most money at death. Scenario A has the most years of actual freedom. Let's make this even more uncomfortable. Jordan in Scenario C dies at 85 with $1.8 million still in the bank. That money goes to heirs, charity, or the government. It does not go to Jordan's retirement. Jordan worked 5 extra years to accumulate wealth they never spent. Meanwhile, Jordan in Scenario A spent 15 extra years traveling, pursuing hobbies, spending time with family while still healthy enough to enjoy it. Yes, the finances were tighter. Yes, there was more risk. But Jordan actually lived the retirement instead of just funding it. The financial industry measures success by portfolio size at death. But nobody's tombstone says, died with optimal asset allocation. The question isn't which scenario has the most money. The question is, which scenario has the most life? And those two things are not the same calculation. Here's what the spreadsheet doesn't show you. The average American man lives to 76. The average American woman lives to 81. But those are just lifespan numbers. Health span is different. Health span is how long you're healthy enough to actually do things. Studies suggest the average person spends their final 8 to 10 years in declining health, dealing with chronic conditions, reduced mobility, and diminishing energy. Run that math. If you retire at 70 and live to 80, you might get 5 genuinely active years before decline sets in. Retire at 55, and even with the same decline period, you get 20 good years. The spreadsheet optimizes for total dollars. It cannot optimize for total living. There's another trap nobody warns you about. It's called one more year syndrome. You hit your number at 58, but you think one more year of savings would be safer. Then you're 59, and the market dipped, so you wait for recovery. Then you're 62, and you've got great health insurance through work, so why leave now? Then you're 67, and you realize you've been one more yearing yourself for nearly a decade. The psychological cost of this is real. Every year you work past your enough number is a year you're trading irreplaceable healthy time for replaceable money. The math doesn't care about your feelings, but your feelings absolutely care about the math. Spending your 50s stressed in a job you hate so you can have a slightly bigger portfolio at 70 is not a financial victory. It's a life defeat. And here's the absurdity at the end of all this optimization. The person who retires at 70 with $3 million and dies at 85 with $1.5 million remaining didn't win at retirement. They lost. They accumulated wealth they never converted into experience. They saved for a future that turned out shorter than expected. They died with money instead of dying with memories. The entire financial planning industry is built around making sure you don't run out of money. Nobody gets paid to make sure you don't run out of life. But you can run out of both, and only one of them is refundable if you guess wrong. So what does this actually mean for you practically? Stop obsessing over the age. Start obsessing over the number. Your retirement readiness isn't determined by whether you're 55 or 65 or 70. It's determined by whether your portfolio can sustain your actual spending for your actual remaining lifespan. That's it. The age is just when you hit the number, and that varies wildly based on income, savings rate, and lifestyle expectations. Here's the framework. Calculate what you actually spend per year. Not what you think you should spend, what you actually spend. Multiply that by 25 for a standard retirement, or 30 if you're retiring before 60. That's your target portfolio. The age you hit that number is your retirement age. It might be 52. It might be 68. The math doesn't care about round numbers or social expectations. Let me give you permission to do something radical. You can retire early if your numbers support it, even if everyone tells you it's irresponsible. You can also keep working past 65 if you genuinely enjoy your work, even if everyone tells you you're wasting your retirement years. Both choices are valid. Neither is morally superior. The wrong answer is retiring before you're ready because you're burned out, then running out of money at 78. The other wrong answer is working until 70 because you're scared, then dying at 74 with a fortune you never touched. The right answer is running your own math. Being honest about your health, your spending, and your priorities, and making a decision based on your actual life rather than some arbitrary age that worked for a previous generation with pensions and cheaper healthcare. The financial planning industry wants you to believe this is complicated. It's not. Spend less than you earn, invest the difference, calculate your enough number, retire when you hit it. And for the love of everything, stop letting round numbers and cultural expectations make this decision for you. The best retirement age isn't 55 or 65 or 70. It's the age where your money outlasts you and your health still lets you enjoy it. Find that number, then stop working.